Hello, hello, crafty friends. Stacy here with my June card class, and I am featuring the beautiful, relaxing Waterside and the Waterside Retreat paper. So these are the 4 cards that we're going to be making today. I hope you like them. I hope you stick around. If you're joining me live here today, say hello. If you're catching the replay on YouTube, I love to interact with friends over there on YouTube as well. But yeah, these are the cards we're going to be making today. But before we get into that, let me just go over a few admin things. So today is Saturday, June 13th. If you are catching this video or replay today, Stampin' Up! Has its last day of free shipping. So I'm showing you this month's product of the month. Look at how adorable this is, Wild Bunch. Nice size stamps. So this is only $5, $50, $5 with a $75 order. But the free shipping is with a $75 order. So today's the last day. If you place an order for $75, not only do you get free shipping, you unlock to purchase this stamp for $5. You also will get my tutorial for this class for free, and anyone that places an order today will receive Happy Mail from me. So that's only today, June 13th. That expires Eastern Time tonight. So that is everything you will get. Also, today's class is June 13th. You're here with me today. I did reschedule some of my summer classes, so just make sure you take note of July's class in August, and then September, October, November, we go back to the first Saturday of the month. And as always, you shop with me for $25, you earn my tutorial free, or you can purchase my tutorials on my website for $10, and you can purchase card kits. This is how my kits come. So if you would want this kit, you will earn everything, all the bits and pieces. Nothing is stamped. So you need the stamp, and if you will get the dies in my class. But that's how it comes packaged. All the QR codes bring you back to tutorials and videos and whatnot. All right, so I think I got all of that out of the way while I drop things. Let's look at what I'm using and featuring in this class. Okay, so like I said, here's the relaxing Waterside stamp set. Some great stamps, nice. I love when we add in a male sentiment there. Hey, Susan, good morning. Thanks for joining me. I love to have some male sentiments, even though I no longer have a dad, but my daughter does, right? So I can make cards for her, but just for everybody in general. So great stamp set, nice beachy theme. You know, that's right up my alley. And here is the dies. So I love the Adirondack chairs. You have other chairs here. So you cut out these two. You'll see it a little closer in the class. Some nice cattails and some seagrass and some seagulls. So really cute thin cuts. Dies. I also, of course, used my stylish shapes in this class. And then in this card, you see here a little faint stamping that looks like sand. So I'm sure just look through your stash. We all have those stamps, but I used this. So you may have the gears and textures. That's the stamp I use to create that sandish effect. And that's optional. You don't have to do that. Okay. And then, as I mentioned, the Waterside Retreat DSP. Let me move this out of the way so it doesn't obscure the pictures here. So in this, you get 6 sheets of 12 by 12, 2 of each. So you get 12 double-sided DSPs. Here is the item number, and here are the front and back sides of each DSP. Okay? So I think this is a really good way to show you all of the papers you get. And then here's the coordinating colors in this pack. So that is the featured DSP that I'm featuring today. Like I said, I had already went ahead and proofed my tutorial. I have a few little things, little changes to make after this class airs today live, I will process the video, make the corrections on my tutorial, and everything will be uploaded to YouTube and to my Crafty Diva USA website for you to go browse and purchase if you'd like. All right, so let's zoom in on these cards we're going to make today. You can swap out the sentiment for anything you want. I just popped in a Happy Father's Day there. This is the inside of card 1. Here's card 2. We're going to be doing lots of inking on this card and some heat embossing. And this is card 2. Card 3. I love this wood grain and all the layers. Oh, and this is a nice background. As you see, we're going to create that background and it's going to pop through like a little peephole there. That's card 3. And then here is card 4. I really love this card. And you know, we'll get to those little trinkets. I just used a stamp from my stash. This was another product of the month, maybe January stamp set. You see here this little embellishment. Let me show you this. So one of my favorite items in this collection are these loose anchor trinkets. Look at these. Love these, okay? But I will tell you that I want to show you this fun knot. Okay, see how I made the knot like that? Yeah, you see how I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, but then I'm giving you fair warning. As you see my other one, no patience. So I'm going to show you, I have it pre-set up, ready to go, so it's super easy. And the cards we remake, I did this off camera and I have my loop like that. But I'm telling you, it does get on your last nerve trying to get it like that. So you can simply just tie a knot, make it super easy. But I did want to, in all fairness, show you before we get started how to make a loose trinket look like that nice knot like that, right? Look, something a sailor would do or something anyway. So you're going to use some baker's twine, thread, whatever you have, right? So I just want to show you this because, again, I have it pre-set up so I can just do this super fast with you. But what you want to do is you need to put it through. So see this little hole right here? Let me zoom in a second. Oh, and I did get my nails cut, so they're much shorter. So see that little hole right there? Yeah, right there. You need to get through that a loop like this. Okay, I've tried everything. I even glued these pieces together. You think it's super easy, I tell you, but it does get on your last nerve. So, and I'm using linen thread, but you need to get that through that hole. And then, so that's however you get it through there or however long it takes you. Good luck. All right. Then it's going to look like this. All right, I have it done. See, you get it through there. So here's my tails, there's my loop. All right, so you want to get it through there. And then when you have that loop, you just, and I've wasted a lot of thread here, and that's okay. You just want to put your tails through the loop, okay? Like that, put your tails through the loop and then pull, just like that. And then you have a nice knot and it's not all messy, which is still beautiful, like that one. You have more of a polished look like that one. Okay, so you just feed it through and then you would take your snips, and I'm using my ribbon snips, identified by the ribbon there. So there's no adhesive, and then just snip that off however you'd like it. So I did all mine off camera just because this video would be probably 3 hours today. So fair warning, but if you want it to look like that, that's the steps you will take. All right, I'm going to keep card 1 here. I'm going to get, and I'll just save that for another project. Oh, and the gems I'm using today are these new shimmering dots. Love them. You get white. I think that's Granny Apple Green and Pool Party. I think it says it online, but it doesn't say it on the back. I wish it did. Whatever. And then for some of the other cards, I'm just using some gems I had in my stash. So you can always duplicate that as well. So we're going to start with card 1. I'll get these out of the way. And I already have all my inks ready to go and my blocks, my stamps that I'm going to be using set up. I do have my Stampin' Scrub and my Stamping Mist right here off to the side. Let's get that loaded up. I think this is on last chance. I don't know if we're getting some kind of new tool. Not really sure, but look out for that. So in this card, I use Night of Navy, Pecan Pie, Basic Gray. We'll go over some of that. I do have, for the sake of the video, right, of course, I have everything ready to go for me. You will get everything in your pouch. You will have the die cuts, but nothing will be stamped. I'm going to show you how I did some of these, but I have everything ready to go just so I don't have to die cut and whatnot and make videos longer than they truly are, right? Okay, so here's all the pieces and parts. I do have some stamped up already that you will get. But like I said, I have these already stamped, but I'm going to show you what I did. I don't need to show you this, but in in my tutorial, all of the cutting directions, step-by-step directions, everything is in there. Let me just show you so you see how my tutorials are based. I first go through your supply list, right? Then you would have, here's card 1, nice bright image of the card. Here is your cutting directions, and then here is your assembly step by step. So that it will be in my tutorial, but I went ahead for the sake. So if you get my tutorial, right, you come back to this class and you'll see, and I'll explain everything. So I stamped the Adirondack chair using the Night of Navy and then just die cut that out. Nothing crazy there. Okay, I think the smaller one is for the inside. Yeah. Okay, so that's my inside layer. Here is my front layer. So we can get ready to adhere those. We're going to do some stamping though. Here's those fun cattails. I'll show you what I did there. Okay. So here's the pieces. And then we're going to cover our envelope. So the envelopes that I use, I cut about a 6 1/4 by 2 inch piece of DSP. I'll show you how to do that. But if you're picking up my tutorial, you may not use the same type of envelope that I use. So you want to be sure to cut your DSP accordingly. Okay, this is where I'm going to show you how to do some stamping. Okay, so first, I'm just going to go a little backwards. It's however you like. Do you want to stamp? Do your die cuts? Do you want to put all your easy pieces together? I'm just going to put my front layer together and then we're going to do the stamping. How about that? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to adhere the larger basic white down to my, I'm causing a wreck over here on my desk, down to my cardstock. And I think, is this one okay? I may have ruined this. No, we're good. I ruined so many. I'm just so rough with adhesive sometimes. Okay. So this layer is going to go right there. Then you're going to get the stripe piece that's going to go along the bottom here. You're going to get this cloud. Now this piece I cut out. Let me, do I have it close? I don't, but anyway, where is this? Okay. So this image right here, 12 by 12, a lot of the birds are on one side and along the bottom, and then the other half is just kind of that cloud sky image, and that's where I cut that out of. But if you had some of the seagulls in the background, that's totally fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these two together. Now, if I put them straight together is fine, or if you want to separate them a little, that's totally fine, and you get that little gap. My trick that I do is I always use a piece of glitter, and I just seam that up. Whether it's together or there's no gap, I like to put the seam in the middle. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I do that on all my cards. So we're going to just get this adhered straight down, leaving that little, I start at the top and I put it where I like, regardless of the size that I cut, because I know I have this to go and the seam. Look at this little, that's bothering me. I have new bases that I have to put down. I'm just undecided if I want to use a similar color. Do I want to use a white background or a lighter shade of this? Maybe you can tell me what you think. And then this one, I will just get this down to the bottom how I like it first, right? Being aware to line up. So now let me just zoom in and show you what I was talking about. So see how it's hard to see, but right there, see, I have that little gap right there. That's totally okay because that's what I'm going to use to seam that up. So I have my piece, I believe this is like 1/4 of an inch and it's the same width. And I will just put that right down right here. Now I am live, my family knows I have card classes and everybody's like calling me now. I don't get it. Okay, so that's our front. We can now set this aside because let's do some stamping. So here's my inside layer, and I have in here, today is your day, relax. But my sentiment on the front, I put today is your day. I'm just switching this up. This isn't going to be a Father's Day one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put in here, relax. Have a great birthday. So those are the two stamps I'm going to use. So I have my relax set up here. I'm just going to stamp that in some Night of Navy. Get my relax right there in the middle. Relax. Perfect. Then have a great birthday. And if you want to do have a great birthday in another color, you totally can do that. I'm going to just stick with Night of Navy. And I'm just going to put that right underneath. Just like that. Relax, have a great birthday. Okay. And then I am going to use the pecan pie and I'm going to do that seagrass right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some first and second generation stamping. Let me get a piece of scrap paper. Okay, I got that. So I'm just going to put my scrap paper under my card right there and using my pecan pie, this is the seagrass. So I'm going to ink this up. And I want to make sure I get right down to the bottom so I could stamp off a little bit. Now, if you've never done this before, first and second generation stamping is pretty much exactly what it says. First generation is in your ink pad to your paper. Second generation, lift your stamp up back down to your paper. You don't go into your ink pad. I do that a lot. I love to do that. So here's my first. Right? There's my first, and I want to just fill in a little. So I'm going to hit this again with the second. Okay, so do you see that? It just gives you a lighter shade, and you could do a little more of that. Like if I wanted to add another second generation, but not the first, then I would just stamp on my scrap and then come over here and hit the side that I wanted to fill in. Okay, just a little trick, just something else to do there with your stamps. So now I'm just going to bring my card base back in because I'm done there. And I am going to first close up my ink pad. And then I'm going to adhere this to the inside of my card. And then, see what I do? See what I did? I'm so rough with this. I do it all the time and ruin so many. It's because, okay, well, at least this one didn't get wrong. It's because it's such a strong tape runner. So you really have to be a little bit more gentle. And I'm just so rough with it. Okay. Okay, it's stuck now to my nail. Okay, so we're going to put this on the inside. Write that down. Okay, that's my inside card. All right, what are we going to do now? So I'm just going to move this off to the side. I am going to now show you this seagrass right here. So I already have mine cut out. Let me show you. But it looks different, right? So I'm going to show you how I did that. So I had stamped up my seagrass using the pecan pie. I'm going to bring in my scrap again. I'm going to put just a little bit of ink on my blending brush because I do not want a lot of ink at all. I'm just going to tap, tap, tap just to get that excess off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to blend over to whichever, just a little bit. You don't need a lot. I'm just trying to get that heavy white cardstock so it doesn't look like white here, if you see know what I'm trying to do. So there you go. All I did was now I ran that through my die machine. So that's what I had. So that's what I did there. So that's that technique. Then you need to get these seagulls, right? So I have some seagulls here and I have dark and light. So what is that? First and second generation stamping. That's right. So we're going to take our seagull stamp. I'm going to use basic gray. And then I'm just going to, okay, so we need 3 or 4, however many you want to cut out. And I'm just going to 1, first generation, leave space for die cutting. Second generation. It looks very light, but in person it's just a little hint darker. Okay. 1, 2. And then die cut that out. And then die cut those all out and you'll have some different colors. So I'm putting 3 on my card, but I'll save this for another project. Okay, next thing I did, I need some scrap. I had stamped and die cut the little cup in Lost Lagoon ink. So all I did was I'm coming in with my light Lost Lagoon stamping blend, and I'm just going to color that. And that's it. Just color this in all around. After I stamped this, I was like, oh, I should have did the cup in like gold embossing powder. I think that would look cool. And then just try to get that handle. Just like lightly doing brush strokes. And that's it. So there's my cup for my chair. We'll keep that there. Here's all my dies. Okay, cattails are next. So what I did is I took my dark copper clay Stampin' blend. This is called a cattail. I couldn't remember that for the life of me in my creative session last week. Okay, so all I did was just take the tip of that cattail. I don't know. I'm originally from New Jersey, and these are they're very common up there. And you would light these tips on fire and they were good for so many things like you would do with these cattails, but I remember for mosquitoes, right? So that's it. Just color the tip of those cattails. And that's it for this card. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to put everything together. So, well, actually, let's do our envelope first while we're here, zoomed in. So you measure your flap, right? And then you cut your DSP accordingly. And then you take some tape runner and you want to cover your entire flap. So that's what you do starting at the top. Just get a good silicone mat. Every crafter needs this. If you do not have it, it's so inexpensive, you must get it. If you know, you know. Okay. Rub that really good and then turn it over. And using a really good scissor, we're gonna cut all that extra out of the way and just follow your envelope. And that makes a really nice decorative envelope. Okay, so do that for all of your cards. Don't forget to do that. All right, that's card 1. We'll get that out of the way. All right, now I'm going to zoom out just a little bit and I'm going to bring in, we have to clean these stamps, so we're going to be using them again. So I'll keep them right there so I know they're dirty. Where's my card base? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we are going to adhere our chair down, but I'm just gonna I'm not gonna put any adhesive right here because I want to tuck that in under there. See how that's that's fine, totally fine. Or another thing you can do is get that all set up now before you place it down. So we could do that if we want, right? We would just put a little bit of glue on those pieces, just a little of the edge there, because you know that's going to be covered, just like that. And then you can take that one of the cattails, and they point different directions. So the one that points this way, I probably put just a little there, lift up that way, just like that. All right, so kind of you can make your clusters before you even put them down, but that one I'll put on last. So now all you have to do is just come and put some adhesive on the entire back, and now you put adhesive on this piece. Just be careful because some of these are a little delicate. Okay, and then you would line up just straight, like I'm not putting it off I want it kind of straight, right, like there. I think that's good. Okay, and then put it down. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that other cattail. I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back. Again, just being delicate. Just like that. Now our little cup of coffee. We're just going to get some adhesive along the bottom there. This is going to sit on our arm of our chair. Right. Take down a little more. Let me just down just a smidge. Right there. Okay. Now, for our sentiment here, I want it just at the edge there. See, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a good pair of scissors and I'm going to just snip straight down. Or do that in your paper trimmer if you don't feel like you have a good hand, so that just lines up right like that. Now I'm going to put some foam adhesive. I use this foam roll that I get on Amazon because I use so much of it. Right on the back. All right, and this will go right here. Like I said, line that up. I want to put I'm just going to put it down a little bit because I want to put a seagull up top. Okay, today is your day. So this could be used for anything on the inside, right? Okay, next for the seagulls. So what I did was I have two dark ones and one second generation. So I want one there, one here, and one there. Now, if you see on mine, let's go this way. See, the arms are a little raised. So what I did was I first took my seagull and I bend. See what I'm doing? I'm bending the arms up. Now, if you put this in an envelope, it's going to flatten out. So it would be a moot point at that. And then all I did was used a little liquid adhesive, put a dot on my card, and then I'm just going to stick the body down. Okay, so that the wings are still sticking up, and then just let that dry. Or you can use glue dots, or just put a little, like here, watch, I'll show you. You don't even have to use the liquid adhesive. Like, watch. So I bent the arms up. Okay, now I'm just going to right here on the body, just put a little bit of adhesive, a little bit more. Okay, and then turn the wings up again, and then right there. Okay, so liquid glue, glue dots, anything you want to use. But again, if you put this in an envelope, the wings aren't gonna stay curved, but okay, so there you go. And then next, using those shimmering dots, I am going to use these white ones up here. And I just used 3 small ones. I'm just scattering them around. And one. Perfect. Cute, 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 cute. Okay. So there is card 1. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm just going to zoom out for a moment and just give me a second to clean. I'll leave card 1 there for you to admire it. So I can just clean my stamps because I know I'm using all of these. Next card, pretty much every card. I did a lot of the pre-work, but some things I have to do with you so you can see me do them. Okay. So there's that. We'll get card 1 out of the way and move on to card 2. Okay, so here is card 2. Let me take a drink. Okay. All right, now I'm going to try to use this. I got this on Amazon. I don't know. I never used it before. I just got it, but I'm going to try it. So what this is it's like this plastic kind of, it's flat and kind of sticky. And the other side is like an egg crate sort of. But you're supposed to put it down on your surface, put your paper down, and you can ink and whatever, and it doesn't move. So we're going to try it. You know, if we have a mess up, I can't help it. And if we love it and you want the link, shoot me a message and I'll send it to you. Okay. So here's all my bits and pieces, and I went ahead, but I will talk you through what we did here. All right. So for the things that I didn't do, I am going to be using, again, we're going to use basic gray for our birds. I used pecan pie to stamp my chair, and this is on crumb cake with pecan pie stamped. And there's my birds, which we're not going to do again, first and second generation. Here's my little trinket. I showed you that, so I went ahead and did all that. But what we are going to use, no, I am going to use a little bit of pecan pie because we're going to make that sand. We are also going to use balmy blue for the sky, and then crumb cake for the little sand effect. Okay, and then I'm also going to do some first and second generation stamping using the small seagrass. So we need that stamp. Here's from the Gears and Textures. I'm going to do the stamp, the sand. The old olive is for that. What else do we need? We need today is your day. I have that. We're going to need relax. And I think that's it. Have a great birthday. Small seagrass and seagull. The bird. Okay, so we don't need this. Okay, cool. We can get that out of the way. We do need Versamark because we're going to do some heat embossing. Okay, so we don't need the basic gray because we're not going to be doing any birds on this card. But you know how to do that. All right, so let's get everything out of the way. I just wanted to go through all the supplies with you. Here's all my stamps. Oh, we do need the basic gray. We do need that. Okay. All right, so what are we going to do? We already did our trinket, so that's all ready to go. So, like I said, this is crumb cake cardstock stamped with pecan pie, and I did first and second generation stamping for my seagulls. So first what we're going to do is I wanted to stress this a little bit, and I just went a little bit overboard here. So what you can do is just some ideas. You can either use some of your stamping blends. So I used light and dark pecan pie here, and I was trying to get a distressed look. Or this one, I just dressed just a little bit lighter. So I'm going to just show you what to do there. So again, I'm going to take just a piece of scrap paper and I'll just zoom in just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. So I die cut it and everything. Now I'm just going to come in easily, use a sponge jobber, use a sponge or a blending brush. Thanks, Janice. Yes, love the shimmering dots. Yep, me too. They're a great a new addition. All right. Now, sorry, I was just checking my comments real quick. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to do this off. I'm just going to tap. That's all I did, but I think I went just a little bit overboard here. And I did this in pecan pie. I'm thinking I might want to use this time maybe crumb cake. So let me just make sure I get a lot of my ink off. I'm going to do this with crumb cake. So you can use pecan pie or crumb cake, whichever you want. But I'm going to do this one's pecan pie. It was a little dark. I'm going to do crumb cake and let's see how that comes out. I'm just tapping off. Okay, so what I just did right there is all you're going to do on your chair here. Let's use, let's use my new thingy here. Right. So you're supposed to put this side down and the flat side up. Let's see. Let me get this on my pad. Okay, let's make sure it sticks. Okay. All right, it does stick. Okay. Now I'm just gonna put this here. Oh, it sticks. It's not moving. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is just more. I have my ink pad right here. So a little bit more ink. Okay, yeah, I like this better. It's not so dark. I think the pecan pie might have been a little, but either or, it doesn't matter. So that's all I'm doing is just like tapping this, little blending, just to give it that weathered look. Okay, just a little bit of a weathered look. You want to go back in, whatever you want to do, but I think that's good. Okay, perfect. This was okay. Okay, well, we'll see next because I didn't use it that long. And then they say oh no, definitely not a paper towel. Must have been something wet. So I have a wet wipe just in case you got any ink. So I used a wipe and then I'm just going to wipe, I guess. Okay, it's still sticky. We'll see because I'm going to use it again. Actually, I can leave that here. Okay, so we did our chair. We have all our stamp and dies. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take we have two pieces of basic white, same size. One's for the inside and one is for the front. So let's create that front now. And then we'll do some stamping on the inside. So let's see, is this sticky now? I hope I didn't ruin it, that I wet it. And it does need to dry. So I'm going to stick this down. Okay, so it's kind of gripped down. Now, which ink do I have here? Crumb cake. No, I do want my pecan pie. And balmy blue. That's what I'm going to use for these two. But first, I want to do some stamping. I want to stamp my sentiment. Embossing, if I'm going to emboss and then ink over it, some people do their inking and then they do their heat embossing, but I don't really need this stuck down because I want to do I could stamp, they say I can stamp on top of this also. So I want to stamp, relax, today is your day. So I have everything ready to go. So relax, today is your day. And then we are going to sprinkle on silver embossing powder. So first what I'm going to use is my embossing buddy, just where I want to do my stamping, and I don't want the embossing powder to stick elsewhere. So I'm first going to take my relax stamp. It's right there. Now I'm going to show you a trick. So I'm going to do this. Let's do this here so you see it. I already have relax on my block, but you could line both stamps up and then pick it up with your block. But since I already have relax, Oh, this is stuck to my finger. I'm going to try to pick up in the proper, right where I want it. Just like that. So now, nope, that looks a little crooked. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. There we go. Okay, so you don't have to use two separate stamps. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I am going to go in my Versamark here, get that nice and juiced up. Then I'm going to stamp right in the corner here. Okay, so I could stamp on this surface. Let's make sure it hit all the. Okay, I'm going to pick this up, and now I'm going to use my. I need to get this out of the way a second. I'm going to use my coffee filter. Sprinkle on. And then I like to tap it around, let it sit on there a moment. And then tap it over. And then if you have some on the side, you probably can't see this in the video, you just kind of just blow on it. Okay, so that's what you want to be left with, your stamp. We're going to take, actually, I want to put a little bit more on bricks. There. Okay. I'm going to now dump this back in so we don't have a mess, which I just made a mess. A little bit came off on my hand. Okay. Clean that up. Oh, we have a mess. We need a wipe. Okay. Guess I wasn't in my jar as I thought I was. It's hard sometimes looking from behind when I'm filming so I don't get my face in the camera. Okay, so now I'm going to heat this up. If you're catching the replay, go ahead and fast forward if you'd like. Slip that up. Okay. Alrighty. Relax. Today is your day. Okay, I'm going to bring this back in. This is really going to tell if I'm a fan of this or not. I'm not really liking it for stamping. Okay, I like my harder surface better. I'm not going to lie, I feel like it mushed it a little bit, but all right, let's put this down. Otherwise, this is getting returned. Okay, because look, it's sticking. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we are going to take whichever way you want to start, at the bottom, the top, don't really matter. I'm going to start at the bottom with my pecan pie. I do have a piece of scrap right here, so I could rub my brush before stamping down. So I'm going to ink up my brush nice and moderately inked, and I'm just going to tap off, just get that harsh off, right? And then I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to start blending up. And I'm only going to do about halfway on my card, right? See, I have the bottom. You don't need to go up so far. I feel the sky should be bigger. So, okay, I'm not touching this. So far it's good for ink blending. I mean, I'm just not having to hold it down. So that's good. Okay, I think that's enough of the height. Now I'm just going to fill in. Let me zoom in a little bit. It's going to fill in. Okay, yeah, I like this for inking. Definitely like the mat for inking. I want to say it was like $10, $12. It wasn't even expensive. Okay, I'm sure there's better ones out there. All right, I think that, let's just go up a little bit here. Okay, think that's good for now. Okay, I'm just going to put this aside for a second because you might want to come back in. Now we're going to come in with our balmy blue. Now, with my balmy blue, I'm not going to come straight down and hit straight over. I'm going to go sideways and I'm going to try to leave this area, like lightly touch here, and then I'll come in with my brown and fill it in, or the blue. Turn this over. We don't want any cross contamination. I'm going to ink up. Same deal. Ink up the blue, nice and inky. And then tap, tap, tap. All right. And then same thing. Let me go this way so I don't keep my arm in the way. And you go right over where you heat embossed. And I like to start very light and then work over and go over it. This looks super light like when I'm looking up in the camera, but it's really not. It's just, I have lights on and everything. Okay. So you're just making that nice beach scene. You can hit down here by the brown, just don't stay there long because you don't want to bring any colors up or cross contaminate or anything like that. Just a nice, soft background. Okay, I think that's good enough for my sky. And when you're building skies, they could be, some areas a little darker. I think that's perfect, but I do want to come in a little bit right there. The transition is really nice in the inks, but I'm just going to put a little bit of ink here, just a little bit. Just going to come off to the side and like lightly go over. Okay, that's just perfect. Okay, it might not look it in the camera, but it is plenty of ink down here. Okay, so now I'm just going to come in with that crumb cake, right? And this is optional. You don't have to do this, but remember that stamp that I'm using from Gears and Textures. So what I'm going to do is, I wonder, did I do this first or second generation? Let me see. I think I did second. Yeah. Okay. So see how dark that is? If you wanted to do that, that's fine. But I did second generation in mine. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to do your first ink up, stamp down, and then stamp. Yeah, I did second generation. Okay. It's almost like a watermark, just like that. And just do that all around your card. Again, this is optional. You don't have to do this. Think that is really, really good. Okay, I think that's good. Might not look at it again from the camera because I'm looking at what you're seeing up here, right there, right there. And it looks really light, but it's not. Okay, I'm gonna peel this off. All right, so this mat, I liked it. I gotta clean it. I think it served its purpose for the price. Okay, what are we doing now, Stacey? All right, I think we're just building. All right, gotta clean all that. No. We gotta do some inking on the inside. Oh, and now I'll use scrap for that. We have to do our cattails, our seagrass. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are gonna take, where is that? Old olive, and now using first and second generation stamping and the small seagrass here, I'm gonna do that same thing we did in card 2. Okay, first, second. This one, I'm going to have half of the card, half coming up. However you want to do it. just build some seagrass scenery. That's it. Doesn't take rocket science, right? I think that's pretty good. Okay. Cute, right? Okay. That's how you build that beach scene. I hope you like that, Susan. All right. So now we have to do some stamping on the inside. And then we'll build our card. And on the inside, we have a great birthday. So we're going to take this layer here. And where is that scrap? We use this again. We don't do any off stamping, so we might be good. All right, so the old olive, we're going to take that small seagrass and put that right in the lower right corner. Like that. Then we are going to build up and do the happy birthday next. I don't need this, I think it's distorting because I'm not doing any off stamping. So that we did in pecan pie. Have a good birthday. Bird we did in basic gray. Right. Just a cute little scene for the inside of your card, right? Cute. Just let that dry a minute. And then we're going to put our card together. So what we're going to do is take that basic black. We're going to take that basic black. That's going to go right across. Where is my? It goes right across our card base. Just have an eighth of an inch showing here. I love eighths of an inch. I'm going to take the inside and get that adhered down. Okay. Now we're going to take that scenery that we built and we're going to put that on top here, just like that. Actually, this is a quarter of an inch and then I have the eighth of an inch. You see the difference. Okay. So we're going to get some adhesive on the back. I love black poking out an eighth of an inch. Just look at how striking that looks, right? Okay. So now always make sure you're putting it the right side. I've done that a lot. Okay, so you might think I was going to pop that up, but I'm not, but you can. I'm just going to put that right there, like in our nice beach scene. Love the way this came out, by the way. Okay, so we're going to get some adhesive on the back of our chair. Our chair right about there. And I love it with the lighter chair. I went a little overboard here. Plus, I used crumb cake on the crumb cake instead of pecan pie. Pecan pie was a little dark, but I stamped it in pecan pie. Okay, so now again, remember what we did with those seagulls, just bend the arms. We only need two of them here to go around our sentiment. That's all I did. You could certainly do more if you want. Where is my other tape runner? Here it is. So I don't rip just because the Stampin' one is very, very strong. So we're going to put one here. And I didn't put gems on this card. I don't know why, but certainly add some gems to it. Okay, relax. Today is your day. And then lastly, our little anchor trinket here. So you can do the best thing to do is use the micro or mini glue dots, kind of roll the glue dot up and then put like 2 or 3 of them on your trinket. That's what I found the best. I'm sure liquid glue works good too. I haven't tried the liquid glue. So see what I mean? Take a little glue dot, roll it between your finger, and then put it somewhere where it really won't be seen too much. See, like I put it at the top of the anchor, put another one at the bottom. Yeah. So I have 2. I'll do one more. I hope you're enjoying this class. I know we're coming to an hour and I still have 2 more cards to make, but I had a lot of things to show you. The other 2 cards are pretty simple. Okay, so now all we're going to do is put our trinket however you want, but I think it looks cool right there. And that is card 2. All right, I hope you enjoyed card 2. I'll get these out of the way. And I don't do any more embossing. Let's clean our inks. Don't know what I need for the next card real quick. I know I don't need that anymore. Okay. Okay. Everything cleaned up. And we are moving on to card 3. Here we go. All right. Oh, we're going to make this fun scenery. So just kind of similar of what we did in the second card, but we're going to make that poking through. They definitely do add to the card. Definitely, Janice. All right. So let's see what we need. We need have a great birthday. We need our large seagrass. We're going to stamp some of the seagulls this time directly down. And we need, okay, today is your day. We only need today is your day. So we're going to put that back on its own. Okay. And we need, okay, now we're switching this up a little bit. This is okay, so this chair now I stamped. So this is on crumb cake again, and I stamped it in early espresso. So it's a little darker, right? If you like that. Actually, I need my early espresso for our stamp. Okay, so we need that. I'm going to do my background probably. Maybe I'll use the early espresso, and we're going to use the balmy blue. We need the gray for the seagulls, and we need the old olive for the seagrass. And yeah, okay, we're good. And just have a great day. Today's your birthday. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did here. Those are the stamps we need. I have all my inks ready. I mean, all my stamps on my blocks ready to go, as you just saw. And now we're going to create this card. So this is where the stylish shapes I used again. All right, so here's our pieces of the card. That's for the inside, so you know exactly which ones are there. Again, I stamped, we only need 1 of the stamped seagulls dyed out. The rest of those are stamped down on the paper. Like I said, this is crumb cake with early espresso for my chair. And then this is where we're going to build our scene. And we need this because I'll show you a trick. Okay. Some early espresso cardstock and that wood grain paper from the set. All right. So what we're going to do, I didn't do it on mine yet. I'm going to just die cut this really quick because I just want to show you if you pick up the tutorial, so you know what to do. If you get my card kit, this will be done for you. Okay, so on this piece of the wood grain, you're going to use this stylish shape. I believe it's like the middle one, and you just want to cut out at the top right there. So I'm going to just do this really quick and cut that out. Okay. And you could just save this for a project. If you get my kit, I just left it in there for you. But Anyway, okay, so that's what you want. This is a window. This is a window peeking through there. See? So we're going to build a scenery and then tape it down. So I know you could have simply just dyed out a white, right? And put that on top, but that's fun. This is fun. Okay. So we don't need that. All right, let's just get some layering done because there's just a few layers to this card just to make it easy. Let's get these two adhere down together. Why do I keep losing? I'm just going to use this one right now. And when you cut your wood grain DSP, be aware that your stripes are going this way and not this way. Now, if your card was this way, then I would cut it. But we're doing portraits, so you want to make sure it's that way. Okay, so we're good there. We could actually take our piece of ribbon now. I love this. This is from my stash. You might have this. If you get my card kit, it will be in there. All you want to do is take that and just around the middle, flap it over. So you could do it by just put a little adhesive there. This is super easy to work with. And just wrap it around. And now we want to layer that along against our card base. Did we just run out? We did, Stacy. We just ran out. But look, I always have ready to go. Always ready to go. And this one's super easy to change. That out. And we are going to put this on our card base. Actually, wrong way, like that. Here. Okay. Now for our inside, we're just going to stamp "Today is your day" in espresso. We're going to do that large stamp here and that bird there. So let's just take this and get our old olive. And I do have it going a little bit off the paper. Okay. And then we need this little guy. Those this for now. Basic gray. I just put him off to the side. And hitting a little of the seagrass. He's like going into it a little bit. Really espresso for "Today is your day." I need to fix that. It's a little crooked. Be sure to make sure you follow my channel because I'm definitely going to be making some scrapbooks with this stamp. I'm going to be scrapbooking some of my vacation from last month. Okay, we can layer this together now and then put this on our inside. Okay. Okay, inside. Okay, now let's move all this out of our way and let's focus on this square right here. Okay, so using the same, let me just zoom in so you can see this, and I need a pencil. Okay, using the same die from the Stylish Shapes, let me give you a dimension on this. This is about a 2.5, I think. 2 3/4, about a 2 3/4 inch circle. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to just put some pencil marks, and I'm going to put it on the outside right here, 4 spots, top, bottom, and then each side. Okay. And I did that, if you can see, so that I know how to build my scenery. Okay. Because again, this is going to poke through. Okay. So I want to know how much will be seen in here, so that, because I'm going to keep this straight and I know exactly where to put my seagulls, so to speak, and my seagrass. So let's try this doodad again. See if this holds it in place for me. I'm going to just put that down, because I want to imagine that this is the top, right? Like I don't want to put seagulls down here. I want to make sure I have them right. So this will keep my piece of cardstock firm. All right. So now what I want to do, I'm going to first, do I want to, yeah, we're going to stamp our background. Then we're going to come in and ink blend. Or should we do the reverse? No, let's blend our background. So I'm going to use the Balmy Blue, the earliest breasts. So yeah, I want to do it that way. Okay, so again, I'm going to come in with some scrap paper. I'm going to ink up. Now this is dark, so I really want just a light. See how dark that is? No, I don't want to use this. I'm going to use the pecan pie. It's too dark. Pecan pie or crumb cake I would use. Let's get this all off. Yeah, that's way too dark. I'm pressing really hard now. See? Yeah. I just want to get a lot of this off my brush. I use similar colors of my brushes, but okay. So now I'm going to ink this up. Bring in a piece of scrap. Yeah. So it's dark, but I only want the light that's going to come off of it like that. Okay. So now this, I think my brush is perfect. So that's why you want to play with your brush. Now I kind of have it, if you see it, it's like going downward. So super light, super light. Okay. Super light. Just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to take Balmy Blue. I do like this sticky mat. I do. I mean, I'm not like, oh my God, it's in gold, but it serves its purpose. Okay, I'm going to ink up my blue to get my brush to a spot where I like the color, and I'm just going to put down some blue here. And again, this is super faint. I'm not building a scenery like the last one where I needed it much darker. Okay, now look, where's that piece? Where's my DSP? You know, it's probably right. Here it is. Ready? See? Very faint, but you see the two colors. Okay, and we'll get rid of those pencil lines if we need to. Okay, now I'm going to take, so now that I see I have my scenery here, I'm going to close up, it's my Balmy Blue. I'm going to come in I'm going to first do first and second generation stamping with my, let me move this over, with my seagrass. Okay, so this is the large seagrass. So I'm going to stamp. See how I have it just off to the side? I don't want it in. So that's where I'm going to focus my stamp, is just off to the side there. It's like this. First, second. See? Maybe we're going to come off. Put one at the bottom here. Okay. Don't know if I need more. Let's see what we're dealing with. Oh, I think that looks great. Okay. I'm done with that one. Now we're going to do the seagulls. Where's my basic gray? So I want to remember, I have one die cut out. So I want to kind of pop that in the middle, right? And I want to be aware of my sentiment. So I'm going to leave this space right here. Gonna leave that alone, right? Maybe if I wanted, I'm going to drop a trinket right there so I stay away from it. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there. That's where my sentiment is going to go. And I'm going to try to build around that and leave a space for this. Maybe we'll leave him there too. Okay, maybe we'll put him a little bit in the seagrass. So what I want to do is, because some of the birds, like this, see the wing doesn't have, it could be behind. That's totally fine. And I only did first generation stamping here. So I'm going to stay away from my sentiments. We're going to put one here, just like that. We're going to put one here, just like that. And then we're going to put one somewhere up here. He's going to really be going out of the window, but that's okay. How's that? Okay. Now we're going to do our sentiment. So I need my early espresso or pecan pie. Just use we're going to use early espresso. I want to use it. But I don't know where I put it now. Here it is. So have a great birthday is going to go right there. It's okay if it hits a little of my seagrass. Okay. Now, how's that look? Well, we don't see that bird at all. So maybe what I'm going to do, should I put this one here? No. It's okay. It's okay that you don't see him. All right. So now what we're going to do is we are going to put adhesive. Get rid of this now. I'm going to put my seagull right in the middle. Like that. Now I'm going to put adhesive all around here, right? It's almost like we're making a shaker card. If you want to get rid of your pencil marks, I don't even think I'm going to see them, but you would erase them now. Those you can't even see. But I don't think you really need to because you know where you're covering up. It's good. All right, now we're going to turn this over and get some more adhesive on this. Layer this panel up. Okay, so now two things. If you want to pop up this layer, you can. I didn't. I just put it directly down on my card base layers there, but you certainly can pop that up. I'm just going to put this right in the center. If you want to grab those wings, do that. All right. Now I did pop up my chair, so I'm going to get some foam adhesive for that. All right. Don't forget, Stampin' Up! Today is the last day for free shipping on $75. So this set actually already sold out. I believe the paper's back. So this would be a great set to pick up. You know, if you make that $75 threshold, I showed you the product of the month earlier in the video. Super adorable. You'll also get my tutorial free. And anyone that places an order today or during the free shipping, which was the last 2 days, and today's the final day, everybody gets happy mail from me. And if you're a part of my group, you know I get good happy mail. Okay. All right, I think I got enough. I'm going to bring my card back and I'm just going to put this. Actually, that's a good lineup spot. Okay. And then finally, I'm just going to add some gems. This is where I use those gems from my stash. I just thought they were nice. They have this kind of design inside them. I don't know, you might have them. They're elegant faceted gems. I think I've had these for a long time. All right, so I'm going to use these two. We're going to do a large and a small. And the same large and small over here. Top large and small. Okay, that is card 3. We'll set these aside and move on to our final card. This should be fairly quick. I'll put this here so you could look at it. I don't know quickly which stamps I need, if I need. I don't know what stamping I'm doing, but let me just clean all my stamps really quick. Just in case I need something, it's ready to go. I think, oh, so this card is more about fussy cutting. I don't know, not much stamping here. Yeah, not much stamping, just sentiments. That's all you need. Right. Okay. So let me show you real quick. This backside of the wood grain, right, has these oars and tubes and stuff. And then the backside of this stripe has oars and life vests. So that's what I used. And I just fussy cut those. So here's my oar, life vest, a buoy, right? Don't forget our little trinket. But a different chair I was using in this. So I already went ahead and did this. So here's, I cut out a tube, I cut out an oar, I have a life vest, and I have a buoy. So that you will fussy cut and whichever ones you want for the card. Okay, so here's our card base, which is from that beautiful Night of Navy. And we're just going to do some easy things right now. So this wave, love the wave, right? We're going to, look at that. So you know, my husband is a fisherman, so we'll definitely have some pictures, and he did lots of fishing in Costa Rica. So definitely going to use this for sure. Okay, so however, if you want your waves pointed down, I don't like that. I like it this way, and that is the right side of the paper. So I'm going to adhere that down. This is so pretty. I can't wait to use the fish paper. You'll see me using the fish paper in my scrapbooks, in my scrapbook creative sessions. Okay, so we're just going to layer this down. Easy peasy. Then you have another strip of the Night of Navy. You want to just get some glue on the back of that adhesive. This is not glue, this is tape on our adhesive. Stacy, use your silicone mat so you don't get anything in here. All right, kind of in the middle, just eyeing this up. You want to just put, this is an easy card sketch. Just put that right down. Looks like it's even on both sides, right? Then you want to take this piece. It's the back side of the bicycle. It has very faint seagulls. You want to get some adhesive on the back of that. and then layer that one on. All right, that is your basic design. Then again, using that same circle from my stylish shapes, I cut this out. So we're just gonna adhere that straight down to the paper. Right in the middle. Okay. Now for our inside, you can go ahead and use whatever you want from your stash. I don't have anything quite out here. Let's see, what do I have? Have a great birthday. How about just, what am I putting? I'm gonna do the same thing. Today is your day and have a great birthday. So we'll put have a great birthday on the inside. And I'm gonna use that native navy because I don't have that big happy birthday out anymore. So I'm going to put that right at the top. Have a great birthday. And let's keep this out. And the today is your day right in the middle. I'm just going to be aware that I'm putting a buoy over here. So I just, if I need to, which buoy am I using? Oh, that's kind of small buoy. Okay, so I'm just going to put my buoy down for placement. Today is your day. Okay. Perfect. All right, and we have our trinket already with our good tie on that. So for this now, all I did was I took my oar and just did a simple knot on it, nothing crazy. Just need a simple bow tie. Or you could just leave it like this would be cool too, right? You got to cut the tails off of it, but did I do this or did I? I think I did use my bow maker and put, that's what I did. I cheated. Hold on, let me show you what I did. No, that's, I did not try I'll show you what I did. I got this probably 20 years ago. Who knows if this person's ever even around anymore? The 10-second bow maker. And there's been so many iterations people have made this, but I love this little thing. Her husband made them. And gosh, if my dad was still alive, God rest his soul, I would definitely have him make these. So what I did was I just cheated. If I could get this through, and made a little bow with my bow maker. I cannot make bows. So you all see my bows and think they're perfect? Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm definitely making them on this. Okay. So this wasn't in the plan, but I wanted to show you how I make them. Yeah, I cut the tips. Okay. So what I did was I made a little bow. My little thingy came off. And I used a little glue dot. So I could find my glue dots. I don't know where they are. I have so much stuff around. By the final card I have, my desk is a mess. Actually, these are not my micro, these are mini. So I'm gonna roll that around. This made I can't. Little fuckers. Not sure what happened. Where'd my video go? Here we are. Sorry about that. Well, you didn't see me fiddling with a mini glue dot. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and put the inside in our card. You didn't miss anything. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. My camera shut off. Okay. So that's our inside. All right. So this is that other chair. How fun is that? Okay. So the best way to put this together that I found was so you're going to take this piece and you want to line it up right there, right? So I found is you want glue here, and a little bit of glue there. So either use liquid glue, adhesive, whatever you think. I'm going to just use adhesive. So we want a little bit there, a little bit there, and a little bit there. Okay. And then just, oh, we need a little bit here. There was not any there, so it's okay. You can tell you just pulled it up and put another piece down. Okay, then this little piece here, if I can get it. Okay, see this little piece? This goes, let me zoom in. This piece goes right over that, kind of seals and closes up that back edge of the chair. So that goes right in that square. You can see there's a cutout square for it. Let me move it over. I'm a little outside of it. Perfect, just like that. Okay, so now all you're going to do is come back in with your card base, and we just want to adhere that down just like that. So I'm going to easy, because we don't want anything to break. I'm going to get some adhesive down. Okay, bring our card base back in and let it overlap. That's fine. Just like that. Okay, so now you're going to build your scene, but let's get our little trinket down here. Remember what I said, use some glue dots. Just like roll up the glue dots. I'd say about 3 at least. It's probably pretty good. We are almost done. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Again, if you're catching my replay on YouTube, please let me know you're watching. Let me know if you enjoy my cards. If you're new to my channel or you just found me, thank you. And hopefully you subscribe and you like what I do. What I like to do is easy, duplicatable cards that look like they may have taken a lot of time, but they really didn't. Okay. So there is our little trinket there. Okay, now building our background. So I don't have a tube in this one, but maybe I'll put it on here. So like I kind of just go about like layering these. How's that look? That looks cool if I wanted to add in the tube or not. Maybe want to put the tube further back. However you want to do it. I'm covering too much of the chair. I didn't have the tube in that one, so I'm not going to use it. So I'm going to put my life vest down like this. Okay, then I'm going to take my oar and get some adhesive down. I'm going to overlap that. Just like that. Okay, now I am going to, using foam tape, I'm going to put some foam tape on my sentiment. Oh my goodness, we are coming to the end. Yay. Okay. So at this point, now is when you'd want to put your sentiment down. Get that right in the center. Or a little bit down like there. I'm aligning it with my background Night of Navy circle. And then our little buoy here, we're going to put some adhesive down just in the middle. Put that just like that. And then maybe what I'll do is we're going to put the life vest on the inside. So that was a little happy surprise. All right. So that is it, right? I think I'm done with card 4. Let me show you my desk. It's not such a mess. The mess is everywhere else. Let me bring in all of the cards. So we'll leave card 4 down. So that was card 4. So we did some fussy cutting using our DSP. Here was card 3. We did ink blending. We made that, we made a cutout for a background and did some ink blending to make a scenery. Here was card 2, super fun, made a full beach scenery using our inks, some first and second generation stamping as well as heat embossing. And then card 1, just a beautiful scenery, very relaxing type look to a card, right? Can be used for any sentiments you can put on this. So these are the cards that we made today. I hope you enjoyed my Waterside retreat card class. And again, I love to do these card classes. I love bringing you all of my weekly creative inspiration videos that I do free. But what keeps me is, purchasing Stampin' Up! Products from me, purchasing my tutorials and my card kits and all of that good stuff allows me to keep doing this. You probably saw that everybody was just on the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip, and that's wonderful for all my Stampin' Up! Sisters and brothers, but I'd like to be on a trip one day too. But you know what? It's not in the cards for me right now, and that is great. I'm just building now. This is my year, last year, this year, next year. I work a full-time job. So right now I'm just building my base, but I hope you enjoy what I bring to you. And if you want to help me along the way, and not even purchase anything, comment on my YouTube videos, share my YouTube videos. That's where it really happens for me outside of Stampin' Up. So that's what I am trying to grow is my YouTube channel and, find lots of other crafty friends out there in the world, so to speak, right? Because YouTube is worldwide. So, all right, everyone, have a wonderful Saturday. I hope you enjoyed my class. I hope you pick up some of these products. And don't forget, today's the last day of free shipping if you're catching me live here on June 13th. All right, everyone, have a wonderful day. And thank you for everyone who stuck by me and watched today's video. Thanks, Janice. Thanks, Susan. Thank you so much. Take care now.